Welcome to the Feminine Principle podcast, supporting women to let go of the ghosts from their past by exploring the hidden side of their female psyche with shamanic shadow work for women, with your host, Nicola Lucy.
Hello ladies, and welcome to this episode of the Feminine Principle podcast, where today we are exploring the coming home to your true nature. And so shadow work is fundamentally about healing trauma, about unraveling the conditioning that gave us a false sense of our identity. However, it is so much more than this. It's about coming back home to our true nature, back home into our bodies. As women, we have been conditioned to live constantly in the head and in the doing of life, heavily focused on performance and a very masculine way of showing up in the world. Yet we have a completely different rhythm and nature to a man, because we are constantly in transition through our menstrual and reproductive cycles and how we relate to ourselves as a woman, a mother, and a daughter. Our energy ebbs and flows throughout the month. Sometimes we want to be out there, relating, communicating, connecting, and taking action. Then there are other times when our biology calls for us to slow down, take it easy so we can rest and recuperate and replenish. We're like the 4 seasons of the year and the lunar cycle every month, ebbing and flowing. We experience cycles within cycles, creating life transitions that is a woman's nature through maidenhood, motherhood, and into cronehood. Each one giving us an opportunity to embrace more of our power and potential, not found in the head, but in the very seat of our womb. However, as women, we have become disconnected from the womb, this sacred center of woman and the seat of our own power, disconnecting us from the intelligence of our body and our own true nature, rhythm, and cycle. This disconnection happens on an individual and a collective level. You can see it in yourself, in the way that you behave and believe, relate and communicate, and when you look around at the women in your life, beginning with your mother, your caregivers, your family and friends, and extending into the workplace, your colleagues and your team members. This disconnect reflects in how you suppress the deeper needs of your body, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and sexually, and keep pushing through regardless and eventually leading to burnout, stress, and overwhelm. The disconnect reflects in how you relate with your menstrual cycle, motherhood, and menopause, the physical and emotional symptoms you experience. The disconnect also reflects in how you communicate with yourself and others, verbally, somatically, and emotionally. And it also reflects in the way in which you regularly take flight from what triggers you, what you fight against, and the unhealthy habits you have adopted to numb out your feelings. It reflects in the way you unconsciously keep reacting to your unresolved wounding, trauma, and conditioning, and perpetuating the patterns of behavior you created as a result. And it also reflects in the way in which you continue to disrespect your own boundaries, putting the needs of others before your own. As you unconsciously keep choosing to stay in this chaos that you are recreating every single day, you are ignoring the screams from your body and your deeper self, and instead continue to seek love, care, and attention from the world around you rather than within yourself. And the female body, your body, can only cope with so much before it gives out. The female psyche, your psyche, can only cope with so much before it says enough. Everything that has happened to you is stored in your body. It's stored in your nature. Every emotion you have not given yourself permission to feel is stored in your body and in your nature. And every wound and trauma you have not resolved is stored in your body and in your nature. And every single limiting belief, behavior, and unconscious pattern you have created just to survive and feel loved and accepted is stored in your body and in your nature. And all of this is blocking you from your own true nature buried beneath it all, and your ability to thrive and have a healthier relationship with yourself. Right now, my own journey with my own nature is starting to go through a transition. Because I'm in a life transition, I'm going through perimenopause. So my own nature is starting to shift and change with this transition. It began 5 years ago at the age of 42, although this past year it has intensified, forcing me to reevaluate every aspect of my life, both personal and professional, so I can adapt more easily to the changes I am experiencing, physically, emotionally, psychologically, sexually, and spiritually. I'm no longer the same woman I was when I turned 40. My needs and values have changed because I need more time to rest and recuperate, listening and honoring my body and what she needs from me to help ease this transition. At the same time, my creative energy has increased threefold, giving me a greater capacity to dream and birth my creativity into the world as I travel deeper into my own nature, my own soul and spirit, without being knocked off kilter with a monthly blood cycle to navigate. As a result, I also no longer have time to mess around playing games and faffing around. Boundaries I never knew existed have come into force, helping me recognize the value of commitment and the fair energy exchange. This means I've had to make some very tough decisions in my professional life and the way in which I serve my clients and envision my business and the lifestyle it provides me moving forward. Everything is changing because I am changing. My body is changing, my physiology is changing, and therefore my nature and my rhythm are changing as a result. I can choose to fight it or suppress it, or I can choose to flow into it, to lean into it, and reflect upon the questions it raises. Questions like, who am I without my period? What is my relationship with my partner now? Who am I without a monthly cycle to guide me, and what is my new cycle? What is my relationship with my body as I put on weight and navigate the hormonal changes and physical symptoms? And what steps can I take to honor the death process I'm experiencing emotionally as my ovaries start to run out of eggs? And so what is the solution? How do we come back home into our own nature? And so in shamanism, everything is part of a cycle of death and rebirth. We're constantly dying and being reborn on the other side. However, we're also constantly in this cosmic dance with our own nature, allowing what no longer serves us to die so we can embrace more of who we are. But to really understand and embody our own nature, we will have to come back home into the womb, into the body, and into the very roots of who we are. And this is where shadow work for women comes in. As mentioned earlier, your body contains all of this emotional toxic waste, all of your crazy, unhealthy, yet very valid patterns and fears. It contains all of these limiting beliefs and behaviors and all the unresolved wounding, trauma and conditioning that you've experienced. Add to this, there is a whole lot of energy of so many other people who are taking up residence in your body's energetic fields, which means there is actually little room for your own nature to come through and shine and for you to therefore thrive. The way I approach shadow work strips back each of these layers one by one, and each time you retrieve an element of your own nature, remembering your own rhythm, parts of you that have been long forgotten as you fitted into other people's expectations, conforming and performing as you went along. The deeper you go, facing your own demons, you learn to be radically honest with yourself and ask the questions you never dared ask before, because on some level, they gave you a false sense of safety, security, and stability. The deeper you dig, the more you let go of, and therefore you create more space on the inside, more space for you to embody your true nature, your power and your potential, and you have more strength to then exercise healthy boundaries and honor your needs. The more space that you create within yourself, the more you get out of your head and back into your body, into your heart and your capacity to love, sinking deeper into your inner realms until you're sat in the very seat of your womb, feeling deeply rooted and connected, grounded, liberated, and empowered. It is here, in the seat of your womb, where you reclaim your crown as you sit on your inner throne, the queen of your own inner kingdom, embracing your true and divine nature. And so, to help you on your journey back home into your true nature, here are a few questions to help you remember. What is your relationship with your womb? Do you feel connected or disconnected to your womb? How do you feel about your body, your menstrual cycle, or the life cycle that you're experiencing? And how does your energy ebb and flow during the day, the week, the month? And if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be and why? And so, ladies, that's all for today. And if you've enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to join 600 plus women for the Notes from Your Shadow newsletter. Every Saturday, you'll receive wisdom and inspiration to help you fall in love with your shadow and have a deeper, more loving relationship with yourself, others, and Mother Earth. Simply visit thefeminineprinciple.com and sign up in the footer of the webpage. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. And in the meantime, enjoy your shadow work journey.
Are you ready to break free from the ghosts of your past, to live with more freedom and a clear sense of purpose and inner confidence? If so, book a chat with me to explore the potent magic of one-to-one shadow walking sessions at thefeminineprinciple.com.